Good afternoon and welcome to this video update on Circle Coin. Originally, I'd done a video on the Circle group in July, the start of July. So if you don't know, then Circle had a IPO. It was massively oversubscribed by like 25 times. It trailed the Coinbase IPO, so in terms of its size, and had a huge amount of interest, raising about $1.5 billion. So since then, we at that time we were anticipating for price to come down a little bit lower. So we did actually see this rocket go all the way up to sort of $300. And slowly but surely over the last couple of months, it has basically taken the staircase down. And yeah, Friday was the day. Last Friday was the day that we hit our target, which was about $100 odd dollars. So that was the target we've been waiting for entry. Which, if you look here, we have the 786. We had the point of control of the range that we had at the time, and this is basically where we were anticipating price to gravitate down to. So we're just going to go back to the actual chart. This is how it looks. You can see it came into those poor lows, those levels that were marked at the time back in July. And since then, we've had this really nice, healthy bounce off of there. So we've had a 25% bounce off of that low. We're sitting in the pre-market at 135. And I guess the question is now, what happens from here? So I would like to see price maybe come back down and sort of retest this level, putting in a higher low. That would be nice to see, as opposed to just sort of like a rocket going straight up. So I do expect to see something like that and sort of start to establish a little bit more volume down here and just sort of like building price. Also, we have to repull this volume profile because this was last done on July. So we had a point of control 111, and that's probably going to move now. So yep, so that's now at 117, our point of control, and the value area high sitting at $212. The anchored VWAP from all-time high is sitting at 194. Okay, and you can see here, so these big points here where there's most volume traded are high volume nodes. So these are areas that we can expect to hit some resistance upon pushing up to them. Also, what do we have? We have a weekly time frame I just want to check out. So on the weekly time frame, I'm going to change the color so it's a bit more clear for you. You can see here, if I just hide this for now, you can see here on the weekly time frame, this is basically where we had the IPO up to $300, and then we had that retest of that level rejected, and that does put in that lower high. So we're starting to form that bearish market structure, and we got this gradual decline down to the price that we had anticipated. And it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks or 8 weeks. So it took 2 months to come down into that level. And you can see we've had this first beautiful green candle. That candle is going to close in 9 hours and 28 minutes. Today is Friday, of course. So we're going to be heading to the weekend. Now, providing this candle closes healthily in the green, we could pretty much expect, a continued, move to the upside today. Or if not, we could, just get a bit of a pullback, like I say, before getting that push up. But that's the kind of thing that I would like to see. It doesn't mean it, has to happen in that particular order. But I do think right now, when we look at the market, so overnight the NQ been pretty subdued, still up at those all-time highs. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what the market gives us today. But in the meantime, I think things are looking healthier for Circle. So if you did manage to get an entry here, then you're already 25% better off on your position. If not, like I say, you can wait for the pullback, and we can just look at that now and see where we might potentially go if we do get that retest. So um, let's just make this like that, and we can put back on. Fixed range. Okay, so we might get a retest back into that point of control, 116. Okay, so that might be a nice place to potentially, look to fill your orders, which is like 13% drop. Like I say, these situations, they always present opportunities. So um, that is basically what I would be looking for if I wanted to long. So definitely like to see a healthy retest of that level and start to put in some higher highs and higher lows, and basically start to just accumulate a little bit more structure before getting those moves up into these volume nodes and pushing up for higher prices. So don't forget, we've had this big move down, which essentially meant from the fib pools, we've had a 78% retrace, off of those levels. So yeah, looking good, looking healthy. Providing we see how we close today on that weekly candle. If you do have any questions, please do ask them beneath the chart. There's no point really pulling up the TPO chart. I've already got on here, like the poor highs marked from the TPO. I think we do have a poor high at 136, so that's just like over here somewhere, which we're probably going to tap into anyway, because you can see there's not a great deal between us above us. So yeah, can definitely see more push into the upside over time. Okay, that's going to draw this video to an end. Thank you for listening. Like I say, any questions, please do ask them in the box below. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your support.